All right, everyone, welcome back to the Temple of Artemis. Hooray, our goddess of the moon, the hunt of children, of so many things. So, without further ado, let me introduce who we have here tonight. We have Miss Anna, aka Titania Thunderlily. We have Elizette Brown. We have Rebecca, aka Minty Delph. And we have Isabelle DeFleur, aka Michelle. So, these are all our wonderful voted previous vessels of Artemis. Isabel this year is our Artemis and is doing wonderfully. I'm sure many of you have tuned into her TikToks on the Facebook pages. They're adorable. Love them. So let's get started. We're going to start out with a fun question. Where'd my questions go? There they are. Okay, here we go. So, let's see. So I know Artemis has a lot of opinions on this. So for each one of you, what activities have you done while you held Artemis? Like, what has popped up that you were like, I have to do this? Let's start with Minty.
Video games.
Yes.
I was very pregnant when I held Artemis. Those of you who went to that Spring Mysteries, if you know, you know. I had a prominent bump that no amount of fabric was going to hide. So, yeah. I wanted to run, but the baby did not like bouncy. So we decided to play video games instead.
What about you, Elizette?
I also played a lot of video games. I played a lot of Fallout 4, and of course my companion was the dog. And I have an office job, and she hates sitting still. So a lot of it was, if I had the time, I'd go for a walk.
Anna, what about you?
My Artemis really enjoyed being out in nature. So I would take the corgi through the woods and around grassy areas, and he doesn't have a tail, so he can't chase his own tail, but I'd watch him try, and really like to breathe in the air. I am very well endowed in the chesticle region, and running has never been a fun activity for me. So instead of running, we did the elliptical machine, and we did lots of yoga and long walks with the puppy. But yeah, not a lot of big excessive runny movement, just kind of slow, strategical, relaxing movement.
Yep. Isabel?
Well, I have had two Artemis-inspired obsessions. The first one is all about the wolves. I mean, I ended up adopting a wolf through Wolfhaven Sanctuary, which that's something that people can do. And then up here in Washington State, we have Northwest Trek, so you can walk in the wilderness and go look at the wolves. The other part is it's just been amazing how working with the deities connects. You realize you've already been working with the deities and that you're connected. So my experience with Artemis is also all about the motorcycle riding. And I was already really into motorcycle riding, but I've had to buy more rain gear and winter gear because Artemis doesn't care that it's cold. She wants to be on my motorcycle every day if we could. And I'm like, it's 27 degrees. And she's like, there's a ride this Saturday. We're going.
Sounds like she really likes that sense of freedom on that bike, huh? Yep.
Absolutely, emphatically, yes.
Yeah. I would love to see a gang of Artemi on bikes. Oh my God, there needs to be a bike gang for Artemis. Okay.
If people haven't gone to the Temple of Artemis Facebook page, please do, And you will notice there are a lot of biker, women empowerment biker pictures this year. Very much. I think that's the other thing. I'm sorry to
No,
like,
please go.
I am so thrilled. I've wanted for friendships for years. I've wanted for friendships, especially female friendships. And that is something that she has blessed me with this year. I'm looking at my people right here are also Artemis, and I'm like, oh, I love you. And the friends in the motorcycle community that she's blessed me with. And that's part of her miss, you know, what she asked Daddy Zeus for. I want 60 nymphs. That's all the friendships, right? Like,
Oh my gosh, I love you. Okay. That was great. Let's see. Does Artemis have any preferences for food and drink? Anna has an answer. Per usual, we got her coffee. What's the coffee?
It is a dirty chai, and I have never stopped being obsessed with it. I held Artemis in 2019, so that was 3 years ago. And still, my default order, and this is how you order it at Starbucks without it being like super expensive. You order a regular ass latte with 4 pumps of chai. And I don't know what it is about the chai syrup. I don't know if that it's sweet and spicy. I don't know if it like mimics some sort of flavor of something that she had in Greece, but I literally remember like that it hit different. Like there was a visible difference in taste when I sipped my chai as Artemis, and then after I was no longer Artemis, and I'm like, it's not the same. Yeah, that, and she also really didn't like meat very much, and which was surprising, but the answer that she gave me was that our meat is so processed, and the meat that she eats out in the wild is fresh from the live 5 minutes ago animal versus through all the processed stuff. So she ate lots of fruits.
Minty, did you find anything specific?
So again, I was very pregnant.
Oh, of course, yes.
So I couldn't have the dirty chai as much as I wanted it. So we found a compromise in horchata. And so I kept looking for the perfect horchata, because combine deity pickiness with what the baby wants, and you have a very, very picky eater. So it was the best horchata in town. I had to find it. And it was always tacos al pastor with extra pineapple and lots of avocado. The first trimester, I was practically a vegan, though. But then it turned into Artemis going, the baby wants tacos.
That is amazing. Isabel, what about you? If you found any specific tastes or things?
I really feel like Tatiana like nailed it, because I feel like a horrible cook right now, and I used to like think I was a good cook, but the meat is turning out so bad. Like so bad. I haven't tried a dirty chai, but I have been drinking. I've always loved horchata, so definitely that. I did try I do brew her tea. Guy in pottery. I do brew her tea, but she doesn't like it as well as other deities have.
No.
Melissa?
That's so funny about the meat. And last but not least, Ellie.
Black tea was the greatest thing that I would have. So for specific black tea, Earl Grey, it was just I needed a pick-me-up. Coffee was just not doing it for me, but Earl Grey was like, pour straight gasoline into the tank. We gotta go. For food, I can't really think of a specific food that she really enjoyed. It was more like, we gotta eat it, we gotta go, we have other things to do. do.
I will say, I was a little surprised at her love of the adult beverages, because I know we have to be careful. We're taking care of our bodies and being the vessel. But I I I would say girl likes to party. She can hold her own. I could see her doing some shots and drinking some guys under the table. Just throwing it out there.
That tracks. I can see that. Minty, did you want to add something?
So I put this in the chat section, but I had spaced on this. So additionally, with being pregnant while holding Artemis, this was also in the height of the lockdown. So I went into full-blown nesting mode, and Artemis was definitely had a hand in that of, okay, the baby needs meat, right? Okay, so lamb, that's something we can all agree on. All right, so here's a free-range grown lamb from this organic farm that slaughters its own meat, and that lamb lasted us a year. I think we still have a couple of chops still left, but I practically lived off of lamb chops during the 3rd trimester.
Man, that's a savior, organic meat. That's awesome.
Yeah, like I found like I got really obsessed with organic meat and organic food when I was holding her. Because if it had any kind of spoilage, she would not eat it.
All right, we have a question from the audience. Many questions. What kind of offerings does Artemis enjoy? Who wants to go first? Isabel does.
Believing in yourself, believing in your strength, that you can, pushing through to meet your goals, and remembering that she's there for you.
Minty?
Honestly, I spent a lot of time outside in my garden, which is my main form of worship with most of the deities to begin with. But Artemis was very much of the, okay, girl, get out. Yep, we're hauling the beach ball over. Yep, let's go. Let's get some radishes. And just honoring myself. When you honor yourself, you honor her because she is fiercely independent. As far as physical offerings, booze. Straight up booze, the strongest, grow hair on your chest. Like, if you give her straight Everclear, she'll probably say okay to that.
That I had no idea Artemis loved booze so much. I am learning so much tonight.
Artemis is work hard, play harder.
I love that. I want to work with Artemis now. Anna, what about you?
Volunteer at an animal shelter. And if you can't volunteer, donate to either your local animal shelter or to ASPCA. Not PETA, they are not great, but ASPCA is great. And I mean, she always encouraged me to adopt more and more animals, and I can't adopt any more animals. I'm going to, but I can't. Animals are very important to her. Also, if you can donate to like wildlife conservations or Save the Wolves, do what Isabel did and adopt a wolf, or like work to help prevent oil digging in sacred lands, that's all up her alley.